Hello, my name is Dr. Mary Grace Rizzo-Fryzel. I am from the University of Scranton class of 2010. I am a general dentist and I'm practicing in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And my presentation is on what my University of Scranton education means to me. So a little bit about me. I grew up in a small town not too far from here called Troop, Pennsylvania. And I went to the University of Scranton, graduated in 2010. I was a biology major with minors in biochemistry and philosophy, and I was also a member of the honors program. I did my honors thesis with a few of the professors here, Dr. Michael Solzinski and Father Cadigan, to name a few. I then went on to Temple University, Kornberg School of Dentistry, where I got my doctorate and became a general dentist after that. I'm class of 2014 from Temple. I'm going to talk about a couple of things about what I found the University of Scranton gave me. One of those things was an education. I feel like I got a very strong, solid foundation from my education at the University of Scranton. Being a biology major, it allowed me to choose some of my classes and pick the path that I wanted to take a little bit more. I kept my options open about what classes I wanted to do, what classes I thought would help me towards my career in dentistry. I also felt the Alumni Association here at the University of Scranton was a very strong influence in my education. It gave us a great network to connect with other alumni as we're going through the application process when you're applying for professional school, and then even beyond there. I felt that this alumni connection allowed me to get ahead of the curve. And the University of Scranton gave me a home away from home. So I was a commuter student, being that I lived so close. I commuted to campus, I didn't stay here, but this was literally my second home. So to really hone in on a few major points that the University of Scranton education gave me, one of them was independence and confidence. As an honor student, I was able to do research in the topic of my choice. Naturally, I gravitated towards something in dentistry, so we did research on that, and it allowed me to figure out how to read scientific articles, do self-study, self-motivation, and guide me in that direction towards heading towards dental school and researching certain topics that I would need to know in order to be a competent dentist. The second thing that the University of Scranton education gave me was a network of people for encouragement. And this was a resource, a valuable resource as I was going through my time at the University of Scranton, and it gave me a footprint. These people paved the way. These people had shown us what we need to do in order to succeed during our time at the University of Scranton, as well as in professional school and beyond. I still keep in touch with many people from the University of Scranton, and these individuals have checked up on me, checked in, see how things are going, and have given me positive reinforcement and positive encouragement along the way. These alumni also help give perspective. And a few of the individuals that I spent a lot of time with as I was going through the University of Scranton were existing dentists in the Scranton area and beyond. I spent time shadowing with general dentists and oral surgeons. This is where my work experience came from, my clinical experience came from, as well as letters of recommendation and guidance in order to get into dental school. The third thing and the last thing that the University of Scranton gave to me was a sense of belonging. And I never feel like I left the University of Scranton. Every time I come to this place, it still feels like home to me. I always knew that I wanted to come back to the Scranton area after graduating the University of Scranton and going off to Philadelphia for dental school. I always knew that this was the place that I wanted to come back to and start a practice. But just going through the education at the University of Scranton and interacting with other individuals and alumni who had graduated from the University of Scranton really furthered my perspective that this is where I wanted to be. There's this quote, "Not where I breathe, but where I love is where I live," and I really find that to be true at the University of Scranton. So this is my Scranton home. I look at this picture and it really gives me that sense of belonging and that sense of home. So After dental school, I graduated at Temple in 2014, and this is where I began my career. I started with a group of general dentists, and this was a great beginning because this allowed me to bounce ideas off of other professionals, show them an x-ray here, ask them a clinical question there. This was a great way to begin. It's kind of scary when you first get out on your own and you're the one that's responsible for making the decisions and for being the end result for everything that's happening with your patients. So it's a scary thing in the beginning. And when you start off with a group, it's a great thing because it gives you that sense of, all right, I can bounce ideas here and there. I don't have to be the final call, but you're the one executing the work. So to be politically correct, the path that I was on with this group was different than what they had wanted for me. You go to school, you get an education, you want to be your own boss, and you want to be a part of that decision-making process and what's going on in your practice and with your patients. So in 2017, in May of this year, I branched out on my own and I bought a practice. So I was 28 years old, female, went out and bought a practice on my own. And it was a scary move. There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of worry, there's a lot of question that surrounds this decision. And one of the things I had to remind myself, I asked for it. This is what I wanted. This is what I was looking for out of practice. So I thought this through and prayed, asked for reassurance, made sure that this was the decision, and then I fell back on my University of Scranton education, which gave me that confidence and independence, that self-motivation, self-drive, and I knew that I was making the right decision. Here's where I am now. I am general dentist, successful, I'm growing, I'm making all of my own business decisions. I am the end result for all those clinical questions that I had in the beginning that I wasn't sure about. You have the confidence after doing it for a little while that you're doing the right thing and you're making the right call. And I have a support network. I have a great support network. I have family, my husband, D.M.D, also an alumni of the University of Scranton, friends, co-workers, other professionals out there, also other alumni of the University of Scranton, which I'm able to bounce ideas off of and make sure that, you're heading in the right direction with everything that you're doing. And I still have that confidence, and that goes back to the education that I got at the University of Scranton, and that's something that can't be taken away. So this picture here is a picture from a newspaper article after I bought my practice. The Scranton Times did a write-up because one of the cool things about practicing in Scranton is if you are young and come back to the area, there's only 7% of dentists that are under the age of 35. So many dentists in this area are nearing retirement age. This was an interesting article in the Scranton Times because you can see, even though that Northeast PA should have the brightest smiles because we have the highest population of dentists, many of them are nearing that retirement age and that point in time in their career where they're going to be getting out and the up-and-coming generation is going to be coming in. So that could be some of you guys. So I'm now in a position where I'd like to give back. I want to make myself available to other University of Scranton students, anybody that's interested in doing general dentistry or some form of dentistry. I take shadows into my office. I have 3 students that have come through so far, even in the short 3 years that I've been practicing. I'm a mentor. I will write letters of recommendations for students. I would be happy to show you how I do things. Come into the clinical rooms with me. We will go through procedures, why we do it, when we do it, and it's a really great learning experience. This is something that has helped me tremendously in my time, spent in other offices, and it's definitely something that would be able to help other students. So as an alumni, I make myself available to students of the University of Scranton for that reason. I'm also Scranton District Dental Society. I'm a board member and I'm the secretary for the Scranton District Dental Society. And I'm part of the Pennsylvania Dental Association New Dentist Committee chairperson. So I welcome any new dentists that are coming into our district, particularly 3rd District, which is the Scranton and surrounding areas. And it's a great way to stay involved, get connected with local dentists, and maintain that network of professionals that are there to give you feedback and help you along. So one of the things that you kind of need to keep in perspective are, work and family balance. And you need to identify your passions as you're going through this whole process. Some of my passions obviously are teeth. I'm a dentist for a reason. I enjoy working on teeth. But I also have a passion for people and my patients and for family. This is a picture of my husband, David, and my dog, Hans. And they've been a great support network going all the way through this entire process. You have to have hobbies. You have to keep yourself sane. So hobbies are a good thing when you're not working and you're not studying and you're not preparing for the MCAT or DAT or whatever professional exam you're taking. You have to have some kind of an outlet, and hobbies are a tremendous thing. I also am passionate about the tug and pull of what makes professional education at the U successful. So I continue to come back here for events like this because I want to be a part of this process for educating the up-and-coming generation and that small percentage of dentists that might come back to the Scranton area. So you can definitely connect with me as an alumni. This is my contact information. My cell phone number is on the bottom and my personal email address is on the bottom. So if you wanted to give me a call and ask for any kind of information, any help along the process as you're applying to professional school, or if you wanted to come into the office and spend some time shadowing, I would be happy to help anybody along this process. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your presentations.